What is up, everyone? I'm Skratch. Welcome to the channel. This is another Dragonheir Silent Gods video. I am currently on a test server account, guys. We're gonna have a look at all the new gear sets and all of the new artifacts coming in Season 2. Big shout out to Newverse for organizing these test servers for us, guys, so we can actually get a grasp of what to expect from Season 2. I'm gonna try to don't spoil it as much as I can, guys. I'm not gonna do any of the storyline. I'm not gonna go through all the locations and show you all the new bosses just yet, because I kind of like want us to explore all that together when it comes on the actual server, So I will be doing a few more videos from the test server. Let me know in the comments down below what else would you like to see. I've already made a different video covering all of the new heroes, so check that out. But let me know what else you kind of wanna see. So if we're gonna head over to heroes, guys, we're gonna check the gear sets. Let me just show you one of the good things that is coming as a QOL change, and let's start with a new hero. Go to upgrade, and right now you're gonna be able to go on quick upgrade, and you're gonna be able to do these, guys. One click, that's all you need. No more quick upgrade multiple times. No more playing around with the fragments, with the materials. So that's actually a pretty nice change. Definitely looking forward to see what other QOL changes they are planning to bring down the line. So if we're quickly gonna start with the gear sets, let me just quickly tell you that we still have some of the gear sets that we had before, especially as epics. So if we're starting it with rares, they're pretty much the same. But when we start moving over to like epics, they're going to be exactly the same like before. You still have the barbarian, you have the other sets that will give you attack and crit rate. They really start changing once you move over to legendary. Now the holy hunter, which is the stun set, is still pretty much the same. It's not gonna change, which is great because we needed that. The Moon Lysis blessing is the replacement for the brotherhood set. So right now, this set, when you have a 3-piece on it, after casting an ultimate skill, the wearer heals the ally with the lowest HP percentage by 15% of the max HP. This is actually pretty nice. It can come in hand to give you a bit of extra healing if you have some sort of support champion that doesn't necessarily need any other set. You can definitely throw this on him and get some extra healing for the ally with the lowest HP. Moving over to the next set, which is Cyril's Whisper. This is the replacement of the other set that was giving you Enlightenment. This time around, at 2 pieces, you're getting Skill Haste and HP, which is definitely better than the Enlightenment and HP in my opinion. Now at 3 pieces, when the wearer successfully inflicts a debuff, all allies gain an additional 15% attack for 10 seconds. Much better than the Brotherhood set, guys, because you can land debuffs, okay, with battle skills. You don't need to have it only on the ultimate skill, and you can constantly keep this debuff up all the time in the vortex, for example, or in a fight. And you have that skill haste, which will help your heroes quite a bit to use the battle skills more often, the ultimate skills more often. So this is definitely a very nice set. I'm definitely excited to get this. Then the Ancestral Protection set, guys, is still the same. The one set you want to use on your tanks to bring in more damage reduction and help your team a bit more. The Heart of the Gambler is still the same, so at 2-piece and at 3-piece, you still deal the enemy max HP. Then we have a few new ones in here. Inventor's Inspiration. This will give you attack and crit rate at 2-piece. At 3 pieces, every time the wearer casts a battle skill or an ultimate skill, they receive an 8% damage bonus for 15 seconds up to 4 times. So you could potentially increase your damage overall by 32%. And I don't think it's very likely for you to necessarily increase your damage by that much. I feel like some of the Radiance teams with Laurentil could potentially stack it up to 4 times with enough skill haste, because he's already boosting the ultimate energy. So that will allow them to use their ultimate often enough to get the maximum damage out of this. But most of the heroes, I don't think they'll be getting that stack up to 4 times, honestly, considering that it's only up for 15 seconds. So it's an interesting one. I don't think it's better than the old Executioner one that was ignoring defense, but I might be wrong on it. Then we have the Abyssal Curse. Of course, you're getting attack and enlightenment. And this is so much better than it was before, because now at 3 pieces, Derivative damage dealt by the wearer ignores 20% of the enemy's defense. I'm very curious to see how powerful it will be. I do think it will be strong. I cannot know 100% sure. I haven't really played around that much in Season 1 with derivative damage because I didn't really had many heroes that do a good job with it. But I feel like ignoring 20% of the defense with that extra, with that damage, I think it will increase it quite a bit. I think it will be a very, very strong one for bosses, you know. Then we have the Emperor's Might, guys. This will give you attack and skill haste. And at 3 pieces, when the wearer deals damage to an enemy with lower attack, the current damage will be increased based on the different value of attack. When the wearer's attack reaches 200% of the target, the damage bonus will be increased to the maximum value of 50%. I still feel like this is still the worst set out of them. Like before, the skill haste and attack was the worst, the rat. And now I feel like it's still the same. But I might be wrong on it. I gotta take them in for a spin, try them out, and then I'll be able to kind of like give you my final verdict on what to expect, you know. But either way, it seems like the weakest. So that's everything in terms of new sets, guys. We are getting new legendary gear sets, so that's kind of like something that we were able to expect. But when we are talking about artifacts, we do have 3 exclusive legendary artifacts, guys, and we've already talked about them in a different video. We have the Helmet of the Frostbeards Belder exclusive, which gives you attack and crit rate and increases the damage from runaway, and the limit of stackable damage of Frost Favor. This is an exclusive, so it's going to be much harder to get than the rest. Then we have this exclusive for the Burn hero, which deals so much damage, and this is a strong exclusive, Malicious Manacle, and it gives you attack and crit damage. Asanthius gains an additional 20% crit rate, which will allow you to build him with 80% crit rate, and incineration damage bonus from Dispelling Burn is increased. The damage bonus for each stack of Burn dispelled is increased up to 150% from the 50% if I'm not mistaken, so that's pretty nasty. And we have another exclusive, the Crown of Order. This is probably one of my most wanted champions out of all of them because he looks badass with that lightning bolt, you know. Perkunte's Lawful Retribution will ignore 10% up to 35% of the target's defense. The Lawful Retribution is the ultimate skill if I'm not mistaken, and while the damage bonus ratio provided by each stack of Overwhelm will be increased to 4% from 3%, and this gives you attack and crit damage. This will be very powerful. I would love to get the hero and the exclusive. So I think I'm gonna drop all my summons into the Season 2 and just pray for the best. Pray to get the best heroes, basically. So we do have a few more legendary artifacts, guys, which, yes, I know they're not easy to get, and personally, I was wondering if I should wait for them to drop in to get one, because I pulled the dupe Trollgar recently, and I was curious if I should wait and get a new artifact like that, or if I should just basically buy one of the old ones. So this one, the Telescope, gives you HP and attack. When the wearer deals damage to an enemy with higher defense, the current damage will boost based on the defense ratio between them. When the target's defense reaches 130% of the wearer's, the damage boost will reach the maximum damage. Meanwhile, the wearer takes a critical hit, the damage is reduced by 15%. This actually sounds interesting to be used on heroes that deal damage, like for the Vortex, for example, if I got this right. So could potentially be an interesting one to boost your damage and reduce the damage taken, you know. Then we have the Cuckoo Kanti's Bindings. This one gives you attack and accuracy. I like this one, actually. As the battle starts, the wearer has a 100% chance to inflict attack penalty on the enemy with the highest attack for 10 seconds. If the wearer's attack is higher than the target's, the inflicted effect can be removed during its duration. Now, I don't necessarily think you should put it on the hero with the highest attack, but it's nice to be able to control the enemy nuker and put an attack down on him. You know, I think is a good touch. Then we have the Nutaur's Shears. When the wearer deals damage to a target, they also reduce the target's max HP by 15% of the damage dealt, up to 35%, maximum 60% of the target's max HP. This effect does not apply to boss enemies. You're getting attack and HP. So just think of a target having the full HP, you know, you're gonna drop that to by 60% if you use this at max level, and when they revive, they're only gonna come back with 40% HP, so it's gonna be much easier for you to kill them. I think this is very, very nice on the Feymender and the Pillar, where they revive a lot of the times. Mithrasi, you know, being a pain in the ass, and I feel like this will be very, very helpful. This is definitely something that I would like to have, but I don't think it's something that I would go and purchase unless I would have most of the other things that are really important, you know. Then we have the Titan Rip, attack and resistance. Every time the wearer successfully resists a debuff, they gain an extra 2.5% damage bonus with an indefinite duration. This effect stacks up to 5. So you could get a bonus of 25% extra damage, but you need to resist a debuff. So I am not feeling it. This is kind of like for damage dealers, you know, it's not really gonna be that game changing. Definitely not. Then you have the Blooms of Prina, attack and attack percentage. When the wearer consumes ice crystals, their next battle skill deals extra damage. So this is nice because it suits them very well, the new ice crystal heroes, you know, the Ice Blast. Then we have the one for the burn, the Oil of Skyfire, attack and attack. Every time the wearer applies burn, they gain an extra 2% attack up for 10 seconds. The effect stacks up to 15 times. This is pretty nice too. Then we have the one for the Thunderbolt, Tempest War Drum. When the wearer deals damage for each enemy on the field under the effect of electrocuted, the damage is increased up to 6%. I don't find this very strong, but it's not necessarily bad, you know. Then we have two more legendary ones, guys. This is the new artifact for the Feymender for Season 2. Revatrix Roots, you're getting HP and attack. The wearer receives an additional 5% HP and attack. For non-legendary heroes, this effect is doubled. So you could potentially get a 30% HP and a 30% attack on your epic and rare champions. You know, which in a way is useful, you know, it's definitely useful. Then this Everlasting Diamond is from the Pillar of Trials. This is actually a very nice one. I like it. You're getting HP and Enlightenment. Healing from the wearer increases by 25%. So it's kind of like the rare book, you know, like the Luminary Order of Gospel. You're increasing the healing. Then, meanwhile, the wearer receives an additional resistance, up to 125 resistance, guys. This could be great on my Catherine. Could be great on many champions that need Enlightenment and resistance for some cases, especially for PvE, because you are building quite a few champions with resistance. So I'm definitely a fan of that. Then of course we have a couple of new epic artifacts as well, and one of them is the 100-eyed robe. When the wearer takes damage, for every buff on the attacker, the damage is reduced by 3.5%. You are getting HP and defense, so it's not a bad artifact, but you need to have enemies with a lot of buffs on, you know. A lot of the times they won't have that many buffs. Sometimes they will have one buff or two buffs, and the damage reduction is not enough. I don't think that is a very good one in my opinion. It's decent but not amazing. Then we have the Cosmos Crucible. Man, this sounded so good initially, but it's not, okay? Defense and resistance to start with. The wearer and their nearby allies gain an additional resistance for 15 seconds. If it wouldn't be for the 15 seconds, it would be amazing, guys. It would be so nice for a arena and for PvE content, for a lot of the PvE content, but it's only 15 seconds, and that makes it literally pointless. It's something that I would never use, you know. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Which one of the new ones is your most favorite artifact, guys? We actually have quite a few nice ones. It's pretty hard to kind of like decide which one of them is my most wanted one. This sounds interesting, the Telescope. We do have the Nutaurus Shears, which sounds pretty interesting. And of course we have the exclusive ones, which are great. These two are really nice, and probably all three of them. And from the two ones that are more accessible for players completing the content, the Everlasting Diamond is actually a nice one. I like that. But that was all for the video, guys. Appreciate every single one of you watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.